Hello grade 9 social sciences learners. Today we are going to be learning an interesting topic called topographic maps.
That they represent the tridimensional shape of the terrestrial surface on a
Bidimensional map.
Okay. Contour lines are the intersection of an horizontal plane parallel to the reference level and the topographical surface to describe. Conjecturally, contour lines are always closed curves, right?
Yes.
They are always closed curves, right? Because sometimes in a map, okay, this is an example here. These are curves, right?
Yes.
They are close to each other, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now we know the uses of the contour lines. We say they represent height, they represent how steep or how gentle the slope is, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, another interesting one. Characteristics of contour lines. You can read them. Are they clear?
Yes.
Okay, let's read together. Characteristics of contours. Must be close on themselves, on or off the map. Perpendicular
to the direction of map's slope.
Yes.
Slope between them is assumed uniform.
Okay, why is it assumed uniform?
Because they have the same height
The same difference in terms of the contour interval, right?
Yes.
Okay, the distance between them indicates the steepness of the slope, gentle or steep, as you said. Okay, irregular signify rough, smooth signify gradual slopes, right? Concentric closed contours, hills or depression. As you all know that if there's a hill or there's a mountain or a depression, the contour lines will be very close to each other.
Yes.
Okay, they do not cross each other, as we mentioned on the previous slide. They do not cross each other, only in special cases, right? They do not branch into contours of the same elevation. They do not cross building. They cross horizontal man-made surfaces in parallel lines, as you can see in the map. Okay. Go to our next slide. Learn the various height clues on the map below. Okay, but we do have another map here. And the related landforms and features. A contour line is a line drawn on a topographic map to indicate ground elevation or depression. One of the characteristics mentioned here. A contour interval is the vertical distance or difference in elevation between contour lines. So we did mention that the contour lines are said to be uniform because the difference of the contour interval is the same, which is 20, right? 20 meters, right?
Yes.
A contour interval is the vertical distance or difference in elevation between contour lines, okay? Index contours are bold or thicker lines that appear at every fifth contour line. Okay, so this is an example of the map, right? Okay, let me zoom it out. Okay, you see the labels there?
Yes.
They are labeling the map
Yes.
in a closer view. It is what we have here, but here it is explained and labeled. Okay, so as you can see with this one, there's a benchmark, right?
Yes.
There's a dam, there's a shape of a dam, water points, a downhill side, a perennial river, you all know that. It is written in the references of the map there.
Yes.
So that is how you see. You first look at the term here. Maybe you see something like this in the map, like for example here. And then you go to the reference. Then you see the perennial reef. Now you know that it is a perennial reef. in an activity or an exercise, they are asking you maybe there's a perennial river in block D. Good afternoon, grade 9s.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay, so I hope you have your geography books, because I did say that today we are going to do map work, which is under geography in our social sciences subject, right?
Yes.
Okay, so as you can see on our first page of the slides, it is written contour lines under map work. What comes to your mind if you see the word contour lines? Anyone? Okay, fine. What are contour lines? Let us all read them. They are
The symbols, spots, heights, and contours on a map that represent heights.
okay. So it is written there. There are symbols which are spot heights and contours on a map that represent what?
Heights.
Okay. So in this map, we have contour lines. We have spot heights, right?
Yes.
They all represent what?
Heights.
Okay. Let us read.
Contours are the main height clues. These are lines joining points of equal heights.
So they are telling us that they join what?
They join points of equal height.
Okay. Continue.
Height is given in meters on a topographical map.
Okay. So this is an example of a topographic map, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it is said height is given in meters on a topographical map. So height is given in meters in this map, right?
Yes.
Okay. Contour intervals of 20 meters are used on a topographic map.
Yes.
Are you aware of that? You learned this in
Yes.
grade 8, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the other slide. Contour line and contour interval definitions. Okay, let us read these definitions.
A contour line is a line drawn on a topographic map to indicate ground elevation or depression. A contour interval is the vertical distance or difference in elevation between contour lines. Index contours are bold or thicker lines that appear as every fifth contour line.
Yes.
Two contour lines of different elevations cannot cross each other. Contour lines of different elevations can unite to form one line only in case of vertical cliff.
Okay, that was clear, right?
Yes.
Let us go to the other slide. Why do contour lines never cross? Why do contour lines never cross? Contour lines don't cross because each line represents a particular elevation, right?
Yes.
If two contour lines crossed, the place where they intersect would have two different elevations, right? And this simply isn't possible. It is not possible. However, contour lines can come very close to touching, especially in steep mountain regions, right?
Yes.
Can you see this in this map? Can you see where they almost meet but they do not cross?
Yes.
Okay. The following slide. What are the uses of contour lines? So this one is an interesting question. What are the uses of contour lines? Anyone? Yes, you can use this map. You can use this map. Yes.
The contour lines, they indicate height. They show us height. They tell us about the slope of the place, if the place is steep or gentle. And they tell us more about the height and the slope of the place.
Okay, so let us read what is said here. What are the uses of contour lines? So the uses of the contour lines is that they represent the tri-dimensional shape of the terrestrial surface on a what's that word?
Tri-dimensional map.
Okay. Contour lines are the intersection of an horizontal plane parallel to the reference level and the topographical surface to describe. Conversely, contour lines are always closed curves, right?
Yes.
They are always closed curves, right? Because sometimes in a map, okay, this is an example here. These are curves, right?
Yes.
They are close to each other, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now we know the uses of the contour lines. You say they represent height, they represent how steep or how gentle the slope is. Maybe there's a perennial river in block D6. Maybe block E6. Now you know it is a perennial river because you can't just say there's a blue line or there's a blue shading. You can always refer to your reference, which is now the perennial river, and then you are able to continue with your activity or exercise. Okay, here we have the index contours every 100 meters, right? Okay, so this is an example of which map?
Topographic map.
Topographic map? Okay,
Yes.
yes.
It uses symbols.
Oh, yes, yes. Contours far apart means the slope is gentle. And then here we have a trick beacon. You can say
Yes.
okay, and then there's a V-shaped contours plus 3. Now you know if you come across something like that, you know there's a V shape, and now it is called what? Infant.
Yes.
Okay. Closed contour lines represent what?
Steep
A
slope.
steep slope, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let us go to the okay. Here in this map, you can also see that we do have a perennial reef, we do have a tropical, we do have yes, you have everything that is mentioned here and also mentioned in that example of close view of the map, of the topographic map. Okay. Let's go to our next slide. Okay, the pattern of contour lines provides important clues to the shape of the landforms that make up the relief of the whole area. Relief consists of different landforms, such as mountains, valleys, and plains. Slopes are important features of landforms and determine where people live, plant, and build. Right? Okay, why are they saying that slopes are important for features of landforms and determining how people live, where people live, or plant, or build? Yes?
Ma'am, I think it's because the contour lines show the elevation of the ground, so that people can see if the ground is gentle for them to build their houses.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. Now it is mentioned here that it is widely spaced. The contours are widely spaced and represent gentle terrain. Closely drawn contours represent steep slopes. Right? We all know that. Widely spaced contour lines followed by closely drawn contours yield a convex slope. Okay. Closely drawn contour lines followed by widely spaced contours yield a concave slope. Do you understand?
Yes.
Next slide. On a topographic map, this picture is an example of what you can find. Right? A steep slope on a gradual slope. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. In the case of gradual slope, the contour lines are far apart, as you can see. They are far apart, right?
Yes.
In the case of a steep slope, the contour lines are closer to one another. Now, these phrases, they contradict each other, right?
Yes.
Because the other one is saying the contour lines are far apart, right? And the second one is saying the lines are closer to one another. But you can also see that they are far apart, yet close when the intervals are written, right?